Video, I'm going to be proving to you that you and every single person on earth is a genius. And once you realize that you are a genius and that you are a genius in a very unique and special way that is different from everybody else, when you learn how to own your authentic passion and your authentic zone of genius, and you really see it within yourself, when you see yourself, then other people will see you and respect you and recognize the genius within you. Genius is something that comes from the heart. It's not something that you can copy or formulate in your mind. You can't reason your way to genius. Genius is something that comes from your passion. When you're really passionate about creating something, that thing that you create automatically becomes a masterpiece. For example, with Leonardo da Vinci, when he painted the Mona Lisa, he painted it over a period of 20 years, and he actually carried it around with him, and every year or so he would add little touches and details here or there. The Mona Lisa, what's so special about the Mona Lisa? If you really think about it, it's just a painting of a girl. And in fact, if you look very closely at the Mona Lisa, it's not even finished. It's like almost finished. So how is a painting of a girl that's not even finished considered one of the wonders of the world? It's considered a masterpiece, and people travel far and wide to the Louvre in France just to look at the original Mona Lisa. And there's crowds of people looking at this painting, this unfinished painting of a random girl. The reason why the Mona Lisa is a masterpiece is not because it was painted by a special person. Yeah, Leonardo da Vinci was an amazing painter, and when I read his biography, what I realized what made him an amazing painter was not just his technical skill. Yeah, he did a few years of painting school, but anyone can do a few years of painting school, but not everyone that does a few years of painting school becomes Leonardo da Vinci. What makes Leonardo da Vinci so special was how passionate he was just about the beauty of life. He would spend hours sitting out in nature just observing the way the light hits the leaves, just observing the insects and the plants, looking at the different species, studying the animals. He was passionate about life, and he was very passionate about his painting. So for Leonardo da Vinci, the reason why he worked on the Mona Lisa for over 20 years was because it was like an expression of his passion for life. The picture of the divine feminine. The feminine literally is the world. His love for the world was put into that painting, which is why when you look at the Mona Lisa, you feel something from it. And it's really hard to put your finger on exactly what's so good about it. People have written entire books just analyzing what makes the Mona Lisa so alluring and so amazing. When you look at her smile, you actually notice it looks exactly like the Buddha's smile. There's a certain wisdom to it. There's like a calmness and a serenity, but it almost looks like you're looking at a divine being, because this painting is literally the expression of God, because it was painted from the heart. Every single person has the ability to create art that comes from the heart. And not everyone can paint the Mona Lisa, because actually some people have attempted to copy the Mona Lisa. There have been in Leonardo da Vinci's time, there were other people. He had students that would paint copies of the Mona Lisa. And I'll put a picture of a copy on the screen, and you can see the copy doesn't have the same energy as the original. There's something off about the copy. It isn't the same. It's just not quite right. It doesn't have the same energy because it wasn't painted from the heart. I'm sure the person put a lot of effort and love into the copy. This one here's a beautiful copy, but there's just something off about her smile. It doesn't have that same quality of like an enlightened being. It just looks like kind of like a regular girl. And there's nothing wrong about that. It's just not something that you would consider a masterpiece. You cannot copy genius. Genius is something that is unique to every single individual. And the way that you access the genius within your heart is by allowing yourself the status of genius. You see, in our society, we've been kind of fed this narrative that some people have the special stuff. Some celebrities are geniuses for maybe because they were born with natural talent, or maybe because they practiced really hard. But some people are celebrities, and then the rest of us, the common masses, we need to work really hard to get to their level of genius. So what we do is we try to emulate people that we look up to. We try to copy people that are famous, thinking that if I just do exactly what they do, if I copy their exact morning routine, or if I adopt their mannerisms, if I walk like them and I talk like them, and I put their poster on my wall and I worship them and adore them and I try to be them, then I'll be a genius, right? If I just copy a genius, then I'll be a genius. But that never works, because genius is original. And it's you. You are the genius. It's if you want to create a masterpiece, and that's important to you. It's something that's important to me. If you're a creative person like me and you can be moved to tears by a beautiful piece of art, something that you really, really love. If you're an artist like me and you want to create a masterpiece, the way you do it is by being yourself. And by realizing that the way you are authentically in your heart is the genius. Now, what blocks us from being a genius, there's a couple things. First of all is this idea of there's only some special people that are geniuses, and then the rest of us, we got to work really hard to achieve that status. The truth is, every single person is blessed with the special stuff. But only some people recognize it within themselves and allow it to be seen by others. Everyone's a genius, but only some people recognize themselves as a genius. So I remember when I was a little kid, I must have been 4 or 5 years old. I was really smart. I think I was just a smart kid. I got things very quickly. I was doing math equations that were like 3 or 4 years above my grade level. So I was a smart kid, and I remember I saw this commercial on TV with these like genius children. And I forgot what the commercial was about, but I saw these genius children and I recognized myself in them. I was like, oh, maybe I'm a genius child. So I asked my mom. I said, Mom, am I a genius? And she kind of laughed. And she said, you're very smart, but I wouldn't say you're a genius. I don't want to say that you're a genius. And the reason why she says this is because she doesn't want to inflate my 4-year-old ego. She doesn't want me to walk around thinking that I'm better than other people and to be prideful, right? And that could be a problem as well. So she just erred on the side of raising me to be a more humble person and said, no, I don't think you're a genius. I think you're very smart, but you're not a genius. And I remember that made me sad because I really wanted to be a genius, but my mom said I wasn't. And I guess some people are just geniuses. They're born geniuses, but I didn't have that special stuff. But then as I got older, I realized that I was reading this book, actually, Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zeland, fantastic book. And what he was talking about was how every single person is a genius. There's not like some people that are more special than others. The thing that separates the celebrities, the people who are recognized for their genius from everyone else, is that those people recognize it within themselves and they just kind of allow themselves to be abundant. They feel that they are worthy and deserving of abundance. So celebrities, a lot of them make a lot of money. And the thing that differentiates them from everyone else is not because of their supreme talent. Yeah, sure, a lot of celebrities are passionate about what they do, but really the people that we consider celebrities, what we like so much about them is that they are authentic. We like people who are not afraid to be themselves. You know how sometimes the best celebrities in movies, they kind of just play themselves in every single movie, like Seth Rogen comes to mind. In every single movie, Seth Rogen just plays himself. And he's just such a likable guy. It's so hard to not like Seth Rogen. He's just so funny and just charming, and it's hard not to like him. Now, Seth Rogen isn't some like special genius. You know, there's a lot of people in the world that are probably even funnier than Seth Rogen, but they're not celebrities. Like my uncle, for example, he's one of the funniest guys I know, but he's not a celebrity. He's just a regular guy. He works at the supermarket. So what's the difference between Seth Rogen and someone like my uncle, who they're both really funny, but one of them is a rich celebrity and another one isn't? The difference is that Seth Rogen kind of just lets himself be a celebrity. He just says, okay, I'm a celebrity. He celebritizes himself. This is something I was reading about in a marketing book. If you want to be recognized as a celebrity, you have to celebritize yourself. You have to see yourself as a celebrity. You have to actually start being a celebrity on social media. Start getting photo shoots done of yourself. Have people make you a high-end website. Post your pictures and just really feel in your heart that other people look up to you and they should look up to you because you're a genius. Now, the other thing that blocks your genius is thinking that genius is something that comes from me. Thinking that I have to be the genius. But all the best artists and creatives that have created masterpieces, what they will tell you is that their genius is something that they don't even understand themselves. It comes from an otherworldly source. It comes from deep within themselves. It's not something that they do. Like, for example, I think my zone of genius is making videos. And sometimes when I'm making videos, I just kind of tap into a flow state where I'm really passionate about what I'm saying, that I don't even know how I'm talking. I'm not even aware that I'm talking, or I'm not aware of what I'm saying, or there's just ideas that come while I'm talking that I don't even know where they came from. So like what I'm saying right now, I didn't plan this. It's just kind of just came out. And I'm not going to take credit for it, actually. I'm going to be thankful that the source that is within my heart is so infinitely intelligent and abundant, just like it is in every single person's heart, that it's able to just speak some wisdom on camera. And I don't know how. I don't know how it's doing it. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that's what this video is about, is trying to explain how when you really care about something, when you really love something, when you're really passionate about something, when you really desire to have a positive impact on another person's life, a deep, meaningful impact, where you want to transform somebody, or when you just have so much love for the thing that you're making because it's beautiful to you. When Leonardo da Vinci was painting the Mona Lisa, I don't think he was planning on publishing it or releasing it. I think it may have been commissioned, but he kept the painting with him for 20 years just because he loved it. He loves life. He loves that medium of creation. And he makes it beautiful for himself because he loves it. When you have that love for the thing that you're making, it impacts people deeply. They feel it. They can recognize themselves in it. If you're making art and you're just making it from your mind, where I do this sometimes when I make my videos, I'm trying to like mentally make the video by inserting all the important parts. Oh, I gotta have a good intro, and then I kind of figure it out in my mind. Like I gotta have a good intro, a good middle part. I gotta tell some stories. I got to cover this idea, and I like logic it out in my mind. There's something off about the energy in the video. It usually turns out to be a very mediocre video. But when I speak from my heart and I just allow it to flow, and I trust that my passion for what I'm talking about and my desire to help the person that's listening will carry me through, and I don't try to like copy other people's videos that I've watched in the past, or say something that some marketing expert told me to say. I'm not trying to like copy the magic formula for making a masterpiece, because there is no magic formula. What makes a masterpiece is the authenticity and the passion. And think about in your life, like, what are you most passionate about? Something that you're good at. What's your zone of genius? I don't have enough time in this video to go into how to discover that for yourself. I have other videos that I'll link up there that you can check out how to discover that for yourself. But think about like, what are you most passionate about? And if you already know that, then just allow yourself to be a genius. Give yourself the status of genius, because it's not something that comes from you. There's something deep within you, maybe when it comes to singing. There's something deep within you, just that when you start singing, it's like something magical just carries you away. And it's miraculous, and you don't know how it happens, but you just have this kind of spiritual link with something greater than yourself when you start singing. And sometimes you can tap into that flow state where it's like you become one with your voice and with the song, and it's like you just like float away. on a cloud of bliss. That's your passion. And when you have that energy, that flow state, that love in your singing, and you sing and you're in bliss as you're singing, you can make other people cry. You can literally give people deep spiritual awareness just by transmitting your passion to them through some kind of medium. It could be any medium. It could be making a website. It could be making a YouTube video. It could be making a song. It could be dancing. My girlfriend, she's an excellent dancer, amazing, and that's how she kind of transmits her passion for life, is through dancing. And she had this kind of worry in her mind where she said, Adam, like, do people even want to watch me dance? Like, who cares about me dancing? And for a while, she just kind of didn't really understand how her dancing on camera could really transform another person's life. Until recently, I told her, and I was reading some books, I forgot which books, but I was reading books, and they were saying that if you just make something passionately, and that's your zone of genius, and you put it out, other people will be affected by it. They will get the passion energy off of it. It could be playing soccer, like when Cristiano Ronaldo, when he plays soccer, you can have a spiritual experience just watching him play soccer, and a lot of people do. That's why he has so many fans and he's so popular. He's so amazing. He's a genius. When I see Messi play soccer, he's so good because he's so passionate about it that it's like he's superhuman. When you see athletes in the Olympics pushing their edge and doing superhuman things with their bodies, pushing them to the limit, you're seeing passion in action, and you recognize that within yourself. That's what adds value to other people. So the block or the limit is to think that, like, I don't have genius within me. There's just like something wrong with me. I don't deserve it. There's nothing special about me. That's complete bullshit. You are literally a shard of God. You have infinite intelligence in your heart. To say that you're not special or not intelligent is just not to recognize who you really are. And when you don't recognize who you really are and you don't recognize a genius in yourself, nobody else will. So when you feel undeserving, when you feel like you're not good enough, then no one else will feel like you're good enough either. When you buy into this belief that, like, you need to do something to be good enough, you need to be qualified to be good enough. You need, if I work really, really, really hard, then at some point in the future, then I'll deserve the rank of celebrity. The point is that the celebrities, there are many actors in the world who are less famous than the people in Hollywood, and they're better actors than them. You don't have to be the best of the best in order to be recognized for your genius. You just have to be the best you. You have to be authentically yourself, and you need to allow yourself to be deserving of wealth and abundance just authentically as you are, with all your imperfections. I just burped in this video. I was talking about infinite intelligence. It's not a perfect video. I'm not a perfect person, but that's what makes the video better. The fact that it's imperfect is what allows people to connect with it and relate to it. It's relatable. It's like a human made this. Someone who has doubts and fears and insecurities. A person made this. I can relate to it because it's imperfect, but still, even though it's imperfect, they're trying their best to make it as excellent as they can because they love it so much. When I first started making videos, I would just let myself be imperfect, but it was like lazy almost, where I wasn't even trying to make it a good video. I was like, it's imperfect, whatever, just put it out. That was good at first because it helped me to get comfortable with the idea of putting stuff out that isn't perfect. Perfectionism is a big block to genius, but you strive for excellence, you strive to make it as good as you can because you love it, and don't expect it to be perfect because nobody is perfect. And when you realize that you are a genius, then other people will realize it as well. All right, guys, this is one of the key things for manifesting the reality that you want for yourself. If you want to be the best version of yourself that lives in your ideal reality, a key puzzle piece here is just to recognize the genius within yourself and to utilize it in the right way. And the right way is by utilizing it in a medium that you resonate the most with. And you can hone your skills in that medium. So if you're a singer and that's how you express your heart passion, practice your singing skills. If you're a website designer, practice your coding skills. Read some marketing books. So still brush up on your skills. And those skills are what will allow you to more effectively communicate your heart passion. But don't wait until you're a master to give yourself the permission to be a celebrity. Look at Billie Eilish, for example. She's like 20 years old. And she's not perfect. And actually, that's what people like so much about her, is like how she wears her imperfections on her sleeve and her quirks and her oddities. The fact that she's authentic that way, people love that about her, and she's a rich and famous celebrity. So you don't have to wait until you're perfect to give yourself permission to be recognized for your genius. And that's a perfect segue into the big announcement that I have to make very, very, very soon. I'm going to be releasing a coaching program that teaches you how to embody the genius version of yourself. It's called the Conscious Creator Program because it teaches you to become a conscious creator of your life, using many principles and techniques that I've personally learned from my 7 years experience with personal development, life coaching, spirituality, meditation. Basically, I teach you using the principles of vision, discipline, and letting go of attachment. Using those three principles, I teach you how to create the reality that you want for yourself and live the life that you want. So it's going to be coming out soon. I'm going to be releasing some free content to kind of lead up to the release. So I'll link you to that. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I make new videos every single week about self-actualization and becoming the best version of yourself. This is a work in progress, and really what I'm interested in doing here is guiding you towards the highest levels of human development that are possible so that you can actualize your full potential as a human being, and you can actualize as much as your heart's passion as you possibly can in this lifetime, because that's what makes you feel fulfilled. That's what makes you feel blissed out and in love with life. And that's what I want. That's what makes me feel good, is helping you do that. And I want for you to live the best life that is possible for a human being. What we're doing here on this channel is something that's very rare and that you will not find basically anywhere else. There's very few YouTube channels that will take you into the depth into these important personal development and self-actualization and spirituality topics that I take you here on this channel, because I'm very passionate about these things and studying them constantly. That's what I do as a full-time job. Is I read, I go on retreats, I meditate, I talk to coaches and masters, and I really try and figure this stuff out for myself and share it with you in the simplest and best way that I can. So stay tuned, and actually very soon, if you're watching this like one day after it's out, then I have another video for you that's going to show you how to create the ideal reality that you want for yourself. Click here to go there, and otherwise I'll see you in the next one.